What is going on, guys? Fitcho here, and welcome to part number 1 of my F1 2016 Force India career mode. The game is finally here, and I'm just so damn hyped for it. I can't wait to jump into this career mode, but I just want to put it out there straight away that this career mode, the objective is to take Force India to the title, so I will not be changing team at all. I'll be making the most of the R&D system in this game and taking Force India and building up the car all the way into a title-winning car. That is the plan for this career mode. If you are looking forward to that, make sure to smash that like button, and if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. Without further ado, let's jump into the career. So for Season 1, I am going to be using Legend AI. I know there is a new difficulty in the game, Ultimate difficulty, but those are like aliens at this stage of the game. Maybe for Season 2 or 3 or something further down the track, Ultimate difficulty, but for now it's going to be Legend. And now we get to pick our profile. So these are all the avatars we get to pick from. I'm not really too fussed about these. I'll go with this guy. And now we get to pick our helmet. Now, we also get to color it in. So this is a new level of helmet customization that we've never had before. So I'm going to go ahead. I'll just scroll down so you can see all the helmets first. So I'm going to go customize, pick a helmet and customize it. So, after spending way too much time on it, this is the helmet I'm going to be using for the career mode. We're going to move on. We get to select our nationality now. That's obvious. It's Australian. The driver number, this one's pretty easy for me as well. It's my karting number, number 72. Number I used all throughout karting. Now my name, my abbreviated name. So, everything is done, let's register the details, and now we get to pick our team, and I've already sort of discussed this, it's pretty obvious, we're going to be going with Force India, and the team expectation, win the championship within 2 to 4 seasons, so I think that is quite doable. I'm guessing it's probably going to take 3 seasons, I should say. That's probably my target, 3 seasons for this career mode. We're going to select them. And this is where things get a little bit interesting. With Force India, they have 2 really good drivers, very popular drivers, and I have to pick between them. Well, I decided that I was not going to pick between them because I simply cannot. I really like both these drivers. I like Hulkenberg and Perez, but I let you guys pick instead. So you guys picked to be my teammate with 2 more votes than the other. I think it was 52% to 48. My teammate will be Sergio Perez. I am sorry to any Hulkenberg fans out there. Don't shoot me, the messenger. This is what you guys picked, just the majority. So I'm going to be using Sergio Perez, and we're going to start our career. Let's go. So here we are in our sort of motorhome, or whatever you want to call it. It looks like our agent is coming over to speak to us.
Hi, I'm Emma Jenkins. I'm a specialist in contract law, and I've been brought in to work as your agent. I'll be working to get you the best deal in the boardroom, which means you need to do the best possible job out there on the circuit. When you get new contract offers, either from new teams or an amendment to your existing offer, it'll come through me. I'll also keep you up to date on discussions behind the scenes to change your terms, or any specific goals that the team has set for you. If a contract offer does come through, I'll present to you the available offers, and then you can make the call. I assume that all sounds fine. Well then, good luck this season, and I'll catch you later.
So yeah, that is our agent. Not much more to say about that, but here is our contract. I'm not going to bother reading that. We're going to be the second driver with Force India, so that all sounds fine and dandy. So we'll have a look at the laptop now. So all the introductory stuff is now done. It is time to jump into practice 1, our first time on the track in our new car, the Force India. Let's go. So here we are in the garage, the first ever time in our Force India. We're going to have a look at the monitor as we've got the new practice program, a new featured F1 2016 where you got the track acclimatization, time management and qualifying paces, and you earn your R&D points through these so you can develop your car and make your car better, etc, etc. So we're going to jump straight into the track acclimatization one, probably the most interesting one. So let's go see how this one goes. This is the one where you have to drive through the gates and stuff, so it's going to be interesting. Never done it before. We're going to see how this goes. But here we are on track for the first ever time in the Force India, the first ever time in our Formula 1 career. How is this going to go? Now you can probably tell I'm live commentating at the moment, so you can hear me changing gears and whatnot. And I'll probably do this through the menus and through the practice as I stuff that corner up, and through qualifying and maybe after the race. So when we get to the actual race, I'm going to be post-commentating, and there'll be team radio stuff, which will actually be my live reaction. So it's something different I'm trying, but here we go. We are underway for track acclimatization. Okay, we've hit the first 2 quite nicely. Okay, that was green. I was going too slowly. Okay, we got them okay. We're not off to the best start. We got green on one of them, but I'm going to shut up now so I can try and do this test properly. So you can see we did pretty well. We got a score of 475, and is that going to be enough for the purple lap? I think it is. We've done it first time, boys. That is brilliant. We're going to give it one more crack, even though I have got the max score, just so I can get used to how this test works and the track and the game and everything. This isn't my strongest track, and I've only just taken all assists off, so I am running no assists whatsoever, and I've only done that at the last sort of couple weeks of F1 2015, so I'm still new to this all, but going pretty well. I just need to get used to this handling model. It's a lot more punishing than F1 2015. I really noticed that, and it is bugging me a little bit like that, because I used to really attack the track, really use the curbs on the inside, on the exit, use the AstroTurf, use everything that there was, but I can't really do that to the same extent on this game, which is a bit annoying, but it's something we're going to have to get used to, and it's probably a better handling model in truth, more realistic. I'm going to have to adapt my driving style, which is going to be a little bit irritating. So, as you can see, we got perfect on the track acclimatization test, so that is 50 out of 50 resource points. So up next we've got time management, qualifying pace, and pretty much there's nothing really interesting about those, you just gotta drive laps. So I'm gonna go do those, and I'll get back to you once I've done them. So this is pretty cool. After the time management test, you get to see a bit of a graph of how you did. So on the left, you got your tyre wear graph, and you can see my tyre wear is the orange. I got 6 purple laps and 1 red lap, where I completely stuffed up. I think I was below the time, that was the problem. But you can also see the projected there. So my tyre wear was actually pretty good, better than the team expected. And on the right, you've got a lap time graph. So yeah, that looks alright. I was a few tenths up on their target every single lap except the red lap. So that's pretty good, but we're going to really see what our true pace is like when we do this qualifying run. So I'm going to go do that now. So we've done all 3 of the practice programs, and as you can see, we got purple on all 3, 50 resource points from each, and we also got 25 resource points from the team objective. So we've got a maximum amount of resource points you can get in one practice session. That's 175. If I had to rate them in terms of difficulty, the 3 tests, I'd say the tyre management one was probably the easiest, then the track acclimatization, and the qualifying pace I found the hardest. But that is practice 1 over, and now I think we have a meeting with our R&D manager. Introduction to resource points. I'm not going to read that out, but you can pause the video if you want to read that. We're going to continue, and here we go. We can see everything we got, and we're getting perfect on everything. And as you can see, we got 175. Wait, we actually got an extra 7 for no penalties or something. No, we got -3 for 1 penalty incurred, I should say. I think we sped into the pit lane. I tried coming in with a new thing, and I just overshot it a little bit. And then you get an initial 550. So we got a total of 752 resource points.
Good to meet you at last. My name's Chris, and I'll be working with you as your Chief of Vehicle Development. It'll be my job to get your feedback as a driver, and to direct our upgrade design in the areas that you feel are most lacking. At each Grand Prix, we can run a series of practice programs and log the performance of the car as you drive it at its limit. This gives us data that we can utilize to develop various performance improvements. In order for me to know which upgrades to prioritize, I'll need you to select a development area that you'd like us to focus on. And you can do that in the R&D section of your laptop. Anyway, that's all for now, but I'll keep you up to date, okay? I'll see you soon.
So that's our R&D manager. Now we get into the tasty part of the career mode, the new sort of feature, the R&D, and here we've got it on our screen. We have 752 resource points like we already saw, and on the right you can see where all the teams stack up. So we're currently sandwiched between Toro Rosso and McLaren, so it looks like Toro Rosso, Haas, McLaren, and Haas are all pretty much even, really, looking at that. Then you've got a bit of a jump to Williams, and then it's progressively harder to get up to Mercedes. And if you look below us, you got Manor. It's actually closed up a little bit from what I remember seeing on the preview build I saw on the videos. But now we get to pick what we want to upgrade with our resource points. So the engine's not going to be a priority in the Force India. We've got the Mercedes engine, so that should be okay. I think the main area we're going to be looking at is a downforce, because that's really where the car's probably lacking the most, having driven it, actually turn in and stuff. So we could go for downforce to the front wing turning vanes, or we could go for chassis weight, because reducing the chassis weight will make the car lighter, more responsive, and also make it better down the straight. So maybe chassis weight's the best thing to go with straight away, but we can also see what sort of improvement things make. It makes about the same as the downforce, the fuel efficiency makes the least, and the engine makes about the same as the chassis weight. So really we're tossing up between chassis weight and downforce, and I think I'm just going to go with chassis weight because it's a bit more well-rounded of an upgrade. You get benefits in lots of different areas, whereas downforce is very much just the downforce section. So we're going to get that, and that's we'll probably get that by the next race. I think that's how it works. I guess we'll find out. So the part will not be added to the team car until the following race weekend. So like I thought, so we will have that part in Bahrain, and that should be able to jump us above Toro Rosso, looking the graph on the right. Put us sort of the front of the midfield, which would be very, very nice.
Hey, looks like you've got a bit of rivalry going on out there. This is good. Gets people talking about you. Just make sure you outperform them, okay?
Okay, so it sounds like we have our first rival, and it is going to be our teammate right at the start from memory. So yeah, there you go, our new rival is our teammate Sergio Perez, and after we beat him, or he beats us, I think we can then sort of pick rivals, or it might pick it for us based on who we're competing with at each race and where we are in the championship. So we're going to have a bit of a rivalry between our teammate. Hopefully we can beat him, put him away pretty easily, but we have a voicemail, so we're going to listen to that.
Hi, how are you? I'm just passing on your qualifying goals for this weekend.
Okay, so our qualifying goals is to qualify 11th or higher and obviously beat our teammate. So we're going to jump into qualifying and see if we can do that. Let's go.
Welcome to Melbourne, where qualifying for the Australian Grand Prix should be getting underway shortly. This is the kind of track that eats rear tyres for breakfast, or so I'm told by more experienced drivers than myself.
Well, tyre management is key here, specifically the rears. It's all too easy to overheat and wear the rear tyres as they're punished out of the low-speed corners. Most teams won't be able to avoid some kind of issue here, especially the teams that are running less downforce.
Oh god, it is full wet conditions here in qualifying. I've been told that the wet conditions in this game are very, very difficult, but I've never tried it for myself, so I'm going to be going in blind here today for qualifying. I just pray to God it is not going to be wet for the race. I really want to dry race my first ever race on this game. We're going to see how we go. Wet qualifying. This is going to be interesting to say the least. Oh, fuck me, fuck me, fuck me. Ooh. God, this is tricky conditions. Far out. This is really, really hard. Oh, no. Rip front ring. Oh, I've done what I think it was Massa did. Okay, so it looks like people are going out on the intermediate tyres at the moment. So I'm going to make the jump across into this. I think it's 6 seconds quicker than intermediate tyres. So we're going to go out and see how these tyres go. Hopefully, they'll be good. Hopefully I can find the grip. That's the main problem I'm finding. Finding the actual grip in these conditions, it's ridiculously hard. They've done the wet really well on this game, and it is a real challenge. I'm telling you, this is really damn difficult. Coming up to the line, the checkered flag is out. We're going to improve by 4 seconds, but where is that actually going to put us on the grid? P16, that is not what we want for our first qualifying session. 5 places down on our target and quite a fair way down the grid, but it looks like Massa and Alonso have 5-place grid penalties, so we'll be starting at that's starting at the top. I thought that orange bit was Sergio Perez. We're actually not going to, those penalties are not going to affect us at all. Perez is qualified 9th. We're a second off our teammates. Not what we wanted in our first qualifying session, but those were very, very tricky conditions. So Bottas and Verline got disqualified and Vettel's down in 20th. So, you know, things could have gone worse, to be honest. You know, after seeing that, things could have gone a bit worse for us, but P16, not what we want in qualifying. We're going to jump into the race, and now I'm going to hand you over to myself a little bit later. I'm going to be post-comming the race, but I am still going to have my live reactions in the video. So the team radio you're going to hear, that is my live reaction. So I'll continue to record my live reactions, but the race will be post-commed. But without further ado, let's jump into the race. So here we have our sort of standing within the team, and as you can see, we're down twice. So we've gone from 5, middle of the road, down to 3, almost in the red. So we really need to impress the team in the race to get that back up a bit. So let's jump into the race. Okay, here are our goals for the race. They want us to finish 13th place and beat Sergio Perez. So, and it looks like the Drivers' Championship as well as that. We're going to finish 12th overall in the season. I know I keep saying let's jump into the race, and there's so many things going on that I'm not used to in this game, so many new features, but I'm pretty sure for this time we're going to jump into the race.
They say that even a second is an eternity in Formula One, so going 4 winter months with no racing at all has seemed a very long time indeed. We're back though in Melbourne, home of the Australian Grand Prix since 1996. We go racing today then in the state of Victoria, where the drivers have 16 corners and 3.3 miles to navigate at an average lap speed of around 120 miles an hour. The close proximity of the barriers makes accidents inevitable, and recent history shows us that a safety car is not at all out of the question. I'm joined today in the commentary box, as I will be throughout this season, by a great racing driver. Former F1 competitor, man who was world champion once upon a time as well, and an all-round top chap. It's the one and only Anthony Davidson. And tell me, here we are, first Grand Prix of the season, the first time racing these cars. So what are the big questions that need to be answered here, in your view?
First of all, Crofty, and thanks for the glowing introduction. I just want to say it's a real privilege to be here, and I can't wait to see what this competitive field has in store for us this season. Now, to answer your question, obviously there's the question of performance in race trim, but really this is going to be all about reliability. It's the first Grand Prix of the season, don't forget. You're pushing all your new components to their limits. Formula One cars are full of very sophisticated but also very sensitive technology. So the most important thing today is to get to the end of the race, keep everything in good condition, and try to stay out of trouble while you're at it.
Okay, I know it's your home Grand Prix, but treat it like any other race. Don't take unnecessary risks.
With that then, let's run through the grid order. Nico Rosberg will start his silver arrow from pole position, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Ricciardo, Kimi Raikkonen, and Kvyat, Perez, Grosjean, Sainz, and Jenson Button, Massa, Gutierrez, Fernando Alonso, and Palmer, Nasser, and a Force India, Marcus Ericsson, and Rio Haryanto, Magnussen, and Vettel, Valtteri Bottas, and Pascal Wehrlein completes the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
So here we are on the grid for the first race of the season, and here you can see we can actually now edit the strategy on the grid in F1 2016. We've actually been given two options, a high time management strategy or a low time management strategy. The first one is a one-stop race with soft tyres and then mediums, and the low time management one is a two-stop race with super softs, and then the soft tyre. And we are actually going to be going for the latter of the two, the more aggressive strategy, so we can start on the super soft tyres, because we are a bit out of position on the grid in truth. We qualified down in 16th. I think Checo might even be starting in the top 10. I can't remember exactly. So we need to go with the super soft tyre, the faster, grippier tyre, to try and move ourselves through the grid, try and pick through some cars and get back into a position where we should be. So we're going more aggressive on the race strategy. But here you can see we're actually away for the formation lap. Again, another new feature in F1 2016. Gives you a chance to warm up the car, get everything into its operating temperature before the start of the race, and just sort of build tension before the race. Now, I just want to quickly apologize. I didn't use any replay cams in the race. I wanted to, but I simply forgot to record them come the end of the race. I just skipped over it because I know there's stuff like your rivalry and stuff to look at after the race, so I went and had a look at that and completely missed the replay cams. So I just want to apologize for that. No replay cams in this race, but there definitely will be for Bahrain. So here we are on the grid for the first race in our career mode. The clutch is engaged, the revs are rising, we've got 5 red lights. is lights out, and away we go. We've actually got a really good start here, believe it or not. We're getting a good start in an F1 game as we pull to the inside of Jolie and Palmer, and now we steam down into turn number 1. We look at the inside of Gutierrez, but think better of it there. We don't want to lose any part of our front wing early in the races. I am running on the simulation damage, the best damage model in the game, as now we head down into turn number 3. We're already up into 13th place, and we're going to go up the inside of Esteban Gutierrez, try and get up into 12th place, but he is still there on our inside as we go round turn number 4. I'm going to hang it right around the outside of him. We're up into P12 now, so we've made up 4 places off the start. Been a very good start for us, something I don't say very often on F1 games. But now later in the lap, we're going to look up the inside of Massa, and that wasn't really meant to be a move, but he just sort of gives me space there. I showed my nose, and he just left the room there on the apex of turn 15. Not too sure why. The AI seemed a little bit weak like that, which is a little bit disappointing. But now onto lap number 2, we're going to look up the inside of Jenson Button into turn number 6, and we make the move stick because we've got a bit of a train going on in front of us. Not too sure what's happening. I think there might be a Toro Rosso of Kvyat up the front of it, just holding everyone up here a bit, and in the braking zones especially that corner where I got Button, they especially sort of slow down. It's quite odd. But now onto lap 3, DRS is enabled. We're behind Carlos Sainz. I'm going to throw it up the inside without the aid of DRS, and we get the move done. So we're now up into P number 9. But you'll notice a lot of the cars around us are starting on the soft tyre, so I think they're on that one-stop strategy, whereas we're on the two-stop strategy, so we really need to pick through these cars as quick as we can. So we're going up the inside of Grosjean and Perez into turn number 6. We lose the back end there a little bit, and Perez gets back past us. We did make the move stick on Romain Grosjean, so we're already caught up to Checo, which is quite good. We really need to get through these fields. We're going up the inside of Checo again, but we just can't make this move stick. We just need to get through these cars as quickly as possible if we want this strategy to work. Is now onto lap 4 with the DRS. We're going to go up the inside of our teammate into turn number 1. A very nice move, a textbook move there, and we are up into 7th place now. We've actually got Ricciardo in front of us, so we're probably not going to go much further than here, but we just need to try and break away from this pack. So now onto lap number 5, we've got Romain Grosjean going up our inside into turn number 1. We back off a little bit on the entrance. We try and get a better exit than he does, but he's going to have DRS down this next straight. We're going to try and get in the slipstream. We've got a better exit off turn 2. We're going to go down his inside into turn number 3. We lock up the front right a little bit, run him a little bit wide. Thankfully, we don't make contact or run him completely off the road. We managed to make the move stick there on Romain Grosjean. Now onto lap 6, he's going up our inside into the fast left-right as the yellow flags come out. And I think his teammate retired from the race. A bit shambolic there. I'm not too sure what was happening, but I ended up with the position. And now onto lap 8, he's going up our inside again. We're going to back off on the entrance again. Aim for that good exit to try and get back at him down into turn number 3. But again, because Australia has that one DRS detection point, he gets the DRS, but into turn number 3, we're going to go very late on the brakes, quite aggressive there. We sort of get our nose down the inside of turn 3, and it's going to give us the outside for turn 4. We're going to try and hold it right around the outside, but we just can't do it. But then he backs off on the outside of turn 5, I should say, which is quite odd and a little bit disappointing. Like in that situation, I'd expect the AI just hold it around my outside and keep going. He should have been able to hold it around my outside and get in that position. So it's a little bit disappointing. The AI seem a little bit weak at this moment in the game, which hopefully is something Codemasters will fix, but it's just disappointing at this stage. So now onto lap number 9, Grosjean is going down our outside into turn number 3. We've got the inside line, and he just backs out of it around the outside. Not too sure why there. I reckon he could have tried to hold it there. But we do hold on to 7th place for now. And at the end of that lap, the end of lap 9, we are coming into the pit lane. Now we need to try and get our braking right. We lock up, and we were probably a bit slow coming into the pit lane. It's a new feature in F1 2016. You get to sort of control yourself coming into the pit lane, actually have to slow down yourself, and it's something that was about the second time I've ever done it, and the first time I got a warning for it, so I didn't want to get it too wrong. But as you can see, we're going on to another set of super soft tyres. We're going to be taking these for another 9 or so laps, and then we're going to be pitting for the soft tyres. We're one of few drivers to actually doing this sort of alternate strategy. And now into lap 12, we're coming up behind a few back markers, Verline, Ericsson, I think that is Magnussen. Ericsson's going for a move on Magnussen. We're going to go up the inside of all 3 of them. Very aggressive. We're 3 wide in turn 3 and make a little bit of contact there, but we have just executed a beautiful 3-piece overtake, getting past Verline, Ericsson, and Magnussen in the one corner there. Beautiful stuff from us, going 3 wide, but we just need to pick through these back markers as quickly as we can. So now on to lap number 12. We've got a slow-moving Carlos Sainz in front of us. He must have lost his front wing or something. We almost hit the back of him. What the fuck are you doing, Sainz? Don't just park it right in the middle of the road. Jesus Christ, far out, that was dangerous. So as you can tell, we were not very pleased with Carlos Sainz. He was just right in the middle of the road there. We couldn't really make it to the inside. And then he washed a bit wide. Very odd from Carlos Sainz. Quite dangerous, but we managed to get around the outside of him, thankfully. And now on to lap 13. We're going up the inside of Rio Haryanto. A bit aggressive there, but like I've said, we just need to get through these back markers as quickly as possible. As now on to lap 15. I think that's Sebastian Vettel going up our insides. We've got Felipe Massa coming out of the pits, and they make contact. You can see Vettel's front wing going across the track a little bit there, or a piece of it. We managed to get around the outside of him. A bit of a schmozzle there, and thankfully come away unscathed. It's now on to lap 15. Sebastian is going to our outside as we come down to turn 13, but he just can't get it done around the outside, and we hold on to P7 for now. But now lap 17, Massa is challenging us around the outside, coming into the fast left-right chicane, but he just backs off around the outside. Very strange from the AI. I'm not going to say too much about them, but again, they just seemed a little bit weak there. But now we're coming into the pits for our final stop of the race on lap 18. We get the pit entrance a little bit better. We need to be a bit more aggressive. I'm still not happy with it. There's more time to be gained there. We're losing a bit of time, but we are going to be putting on this soft tire, so the middle tire out of the three, and going to the end. We've got a few cars to pick through. We're going to be a fair way back, and we're going to have to push really hard to make up some time, because the one stop seems to be a little bit better at this stage from what I've noticed, but we'll have to see how it goes throughout the race. And now 5 laps later, so quite a while later, and we're coming up behind the back of Felipe Nasr. We've got the DRS open. We're going to pull to his inside, a very easy move as we head down into turn number 1 there. A little bit of a lock-up though. And then we lose the back end a little bit. We are now up into 13th place. It's not points, but it is the team's objective, so that is good. But now onto lap 26, and that is being challenged by Valtteri Bottas on a fresh set of super soft tires as he goes round our outside in turn number 3. We're going to try hang around the outside of 4, and we do so successfully, but he pushes us wide onto the curb a little bit, and he just gets us. Just there's nothing we can really do to fight his Williams. With the brand new super softs, the grip he has, there was just nothing we could really do to fight back there. But now we're outside of our sort of objective. We're down into P14, but Julian Palmer is just ahead on some worn mediums, so we might be able to catch him by the end of the race. So now on to the end of lap 28, the start of the final lap. We have caught up to the back of Julian Palmer. We've got the aid of DRS coming down to turn number 1. We've got the slipstream. We're going to go up his inside. His Renault engine does not stand a chance. We lock up the front right a little bit, but we make the move stick. And as you can see, Rosberg just won the race, so we're very, very close to being lapped there. But we are back into P13, and we're going to come across the line to finish our first ever Formula 1 race. And we satisfy the team's objectives, so that's all we can really ask for, considering how bad a qualifying we had and how new I am to this game. Haven't really adapted properly to the handling model yet.
And now let's take a look at the driver's standings. Nico Rosberg takes over the lead of the Drivers' Championship after that excellent result. Moving on to the driver of the day then. Anthony Davidson, who would you go for?
I'm going to go for Sebastian Vettel. People have suggested before that he can't race wheel to wheel, but as he showed today, it's nonsense.
On to the constructors then. Mercedes moved to the top of the table. Well, what a weekend that has been. Please join us next time for another thrilling instalment of this Formula 1 season.
So there we go, not the best race for us in truth, finishing down in 13th. We made up 3 positions from our grid slot, but we did satisfy the team's objectives, so that's really the most important thing. Considering this is one of my worst tracks, and this is the first race I've done on F1 2016, I only did half an hour practice before actually starting to record. I'm pretty happy with the result in general. Could have been better. We come away with no points, which is a little bit disappointing. Our teammate did finish up in 8th place, but I think we're on the wrong strategy there. There weren't many cars that did a 2-stop. The 2 Williams did, and I did, and we are fair way down, and so did Kimi Raikkonen, who should be a little bit higher up considering he started 5th. He got beaten by a Toro Rosso, so the 1-stop is clearly the strategy we should have been on. I could have gone for that, but I didn't think I'd be able to do it with the tire management. I thought it would be a 2-stop race, so I was wrong with the strategy, and we haven't come away with any points. Not the best first race, but then again, like I said, it is the very first race I've done on this game. Haven't had it in my hands for very long, so it can't be that bad considering we satisfied the team's objectives. So we're going to continue. We're going to have a look at the driver standings. It'll be exactly the same. But in the constructors, we are in 6th place with Checo's points, putting us above Williams, surprisingly, who didn't have a very good first race. But we are just behind Haas, and Toro Rosso are above Ferrari in 3rd place, which is very, very strange. Kvyat having a very, very strong race. Oh shit, I just realized I didn't record any replay cams. I'm sorry, there's been no replay cams in the race. I just realized I forgot just then. I pressed continue when I should have been recording replay cams. But we get some resource points from that race. We got, I don't know how many, 200 or something from that race? No, 100 or something. Just over 100. So in the rivalry, we are still losing it. We are down by 2, but as you can see, we got the fastest sector 1, 2, 3, and the fastest lap overall. 3 tenths faster than Checo, or almost 4 tenths actually, but he did get us in the finishing position, and then we were even and finished the race and penalty free. So we have closed the gap a little bit after qualifying, but we are still losing that annoyingly. If we have a look at the driver position, we have moved up 1 for where we finished. We're going to move back down 1 for not beating Checo. So we're exactly where we were. Actually going to fall down even further as we're below the target in the Drivers' Championship. They want us to be 12th or higher. So we're down to 2. We're into the red, which is not good after our very first race. But here we have a look at career score. I'm not too fussed about this. I think you can just compare yourself to friends and whatnot. So that is the Australian Grand Prix done and dusted. It could have been a bit better for us if we got the strategy right and I'd put a few more hours in before jumping into this career mode. I'm still getting used to the handling model and stuff. Like, I only picked it up a handful of hours ago. I didn't have much practice before that. But if we have a quick look at the laptop, if I go over to the Research and Development tab, we do have that chassis weight reduction with the engine cover coming in Bahrain, which should help us, possibly push us above Toro Rosso. Bahrain is a much better track for me, so should be able to get a better result, get a bit more practice with the handling model in this game. We should hopefully have a better race and hopefully score our first points, as that track should suit our car a little bit better with those 4 straights, our Mercedes engine. But that is all for today. I hope you guys have enjoyed my first F1 2016 career mode video, my first F1 2016 video. If you have, make sure to smash that like button. If you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.